away, right?
Yep, Google Hangouts is going away, and we'll try to figure out something to do after that for the SideQuest. Your weekly, that was a nice segue, your weekly chat about video games and culture and all kinds of dumb stuff with some of your favorite not dumb people. I am Dali Dimovski, one of the many hosts of SideQuest podcast and the website. I'm joined today by Dan Hevia. Dan, hello.
Sometimes SideQuester.
Yeah, sometimes. You're always, in our hearts, you're always a SideQuester. Eventually we'll be joined by Erron and maybe Sam. I don't know what happened to them. They were supposed to be on already, but it's like the middle of summer, so there's actually not like a whole lot going on. We figure we just kind of check in. We were off last week because I was off last week. I was off bouncing around Europe.
Oh no, that's right. I saw recovering. How was that?
Yeah, it was fucking awesome. Europe's great, and everyone's connected over there now. So there was no excuse for me not to. I could have podcasted last week if I really wanted to, but the time change was a little off. But yeah, God bless Europe. It's pretty awesome over there.
Do you still have to do the crazy data plans for your phone if you go over there?
No, baby. I got T-Mobile lets you do the whole worldwide thing for like nothing. It's what's really nice about like you using a plan like T-Mobile. I think there's like one or two other companies do it, but you're worldwide, and so I not necessarily could call people, but I could FaceTime for free. FaceTime, all the data stuff is free, and it's at like a like 3G network speeds, sometimes LTE as well, which is really nice. So it's like it was totally fine. So yeah, nice. Get yourself one of those.
I remember when I was younger, it was like you're going over to Europe. It's $200 a minute, and all that bullshit.
And get yourself another SIM card, and
yeah, I think I did an international plan when I got married in Turks and Caicos 8 years ago. So tech change is quick, man.
Hell yeah, you don't need to do that anymore. Things are a lot cheaper. And like fuck, if there's Wi-Fi, then like the last time I went to Eastern Europe, I didn't get network coverage. I just lived off of Wi-Fi and made FaceTime calls off of Wi-Fi, and it was totally fine. So yeah, it's always good. Traveling isn't nearly as bad as it used to be, but we'll get into traveling as we start getting it closer and closer to E3 2020. We were just talking about that before the show started.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be nuts.
It's gonna be a crazy 12 months. It's gonna be a bonkers 12 months.
Well, I mean, it's a console review year.
Yep.
And the Lakers and the Clippers are going to be good.
Yep.
So exactly. The NBA Finals falls during E3.
Yeah.
So we might be in for a riot, man.
Oh, Jesus, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm glad that I'm booked already.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I'm glad that's out of the way. So
that's you're very smart in doing so.
Yeah, and this year was awesome.
Book ahead. Yeah.
This year was awesome. It was a little quiet though.
Yeah.
A little quiet.
Yeah, this is the first time having you on since you were there. So tell me
right. Yeah. Thursday was quiet. Thursday was
I heard, yeah.
Thursday was like you go to the shopping mall now. It's just not as busy as you know what I mean.
Like, off at the shopping mall.
It was very odd. Thursday was I went to see Cyberpunk, the last thing of the day. So I was kind of like ambling around the show floor, and it was just quiet. It was quiet, and it's a lot's been made of the West Hall where PlayStation used to have their huge amount of stuff. Mm-hmm. And, they filled that up with different things like the Unreal Garden and stuff like that. Like, they made the most of it. But, like, there's no way that you could really replace that aura. Sure. You're just not going to be able to do it. Although Nintendo's booth was huger than usual. But IGN didn't have a booth on the floor either. Which was kind of different.
IGN did this year. Wow.
No, only GameStop. Or GameSpot. And GameSpot had on the show floor, and they had one outside in LA Live. So they kept their tradition going. But a lot was made of the West Hall. Something that I noticed was the South Hall. You had the huge Avengers booth for A Day. Mm-hmm. the demo goes through. And people saw the demo today in Hall H at San Diego Comic-Con. But I can go into that in a second. But next to the Avengers booth, there's a spot of real estate that there would normally be a booth in. And it was just couches and chairs.
Oh, the damn.
And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Like, I expected
they had a little bit of that last year. It was just like you had like maybe a couple couches, but that seems like it's way more this time.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, that's actually prime real estate. Like, that's not there. But overall, I mean, the show was good. I mean, it's, you know, the networking was there. A lot of great people, as always. I got to see Cyberpunk, which is, I mean, just buy it. It's going to be amazing. Their behind closed doors demo was really, really cool. It was about 45 minutes. Showed you different ways to play. You could kind of be a hacker that was going through things. You could play the whole game without killing anybody if you want to. But you could be a hacker and use that, or you could just be a rough and tumble, like, I'm going to rip shit open, I'm going to just mess people up. So it plays really, really well. It's beautiful. Another thing I saw behind closed doors, Modern Warfare. And I will say I have the hat on right now.
Yeah. You're digging that?
The hat. I bought the hat from the New Era store. The last 2 years, Activision's done an activation at the New Era store in the Staples Center, where they have these hats.
Oh, dude.
As they're exclusive.
It's actually kind of a cool logo. I like their that MW.
Yeah. And I will say, as an old school, part of the reason that I'm even in the industry is because of Modern Warfare. I have never seen a game that looks like this. I've never seen a first-person shooter look like this. They did the demo where you're going through. There's like a terrorist attack in London, then you're going to go clear an apartment building, and you could shoot through walls and everything. So, but you have to be careful, and they teach you this, that you have to be careful. So you go into one room, you clear, and you go and you train down on somebody, and this guy has a woman hostage, and you pop the dude in the head, or wherever you choose, but you're going to go for the head. And they both fall down. She comes back up with an AK to fire at you. So you take her down. So that gets your blood rushing, and you're like, what the hell is going on? So now you're thinking, maybe if I come through any other door, I just got to start spraying and praying. 2 doors later, you come in, and there's a woman holding a baby.
Oh, damn.
And I will tell you that this is the most realistic looking thing that I've ever seen. I thought that I was watching a movie. It felt like one huge cutscene with the HUD on it.
I've heard folks mention that demo was, I didn't know the specifics of that, but it almost felt like that No Russian demo to a point in that No Russian stage. Remember where you're where there seems to be like a lot more meaning behind taking.
Yeah, every move that you make has consequences and meaning behind it, which is really, really cool. It builds a lot of tension. And they're using a whole new engine, because the way that this looks, you'll be astounded. Like it looks like a full on, like if you're watching Black Hawk Down in 4K.
It's about time that old engine was aging.
And this just I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And then I'm thinking, all right, this is running on a crazy high-end PC. They finished the demo, and mind you, I'm not media, but I'm in a room full of media people. So they finished the demo, and Justin from Activision goes, just to let you all know, that was running on a PS4 Pro.
Nice.
And I was like, what? And everybody starts laughing. I was like, oh no, I'm not media. Like I can react.
I can say that.
But it was so impressive.
Nice.
And they added just cool, nifty things this year. Not nifty, I guess, but things that make the gameplay different. Because if you fire on somebody and you kill them, normally what do? You reload, right? Even if you're in the heat of battle and there's 20 people, you're trying to aim down the sights and reload. What they added this year was you can reload while ADS. So you could stay aimed down the sights and hit reload, and you're reloading basically while you're still aimed down, so you can keep firing and tracking people, which is really, really cool. And I don't know how they made it look like that, but I'm so freaking excited for it now.
That's awesome.
Just phenomenal.
That was by the hi, Aaron. Welcome to Aaron. He's on here somewhere. He's muted.
I'm muted because I am an hour off. I thought we were starting in 45 minutes, so I'm in the middle of a stream in a ranked match of Teamfight Tactics. I'll have
nice.
I'll have my camera on in like 5 minutes, so you guys just
do
your thing.
We'll do our thing. All right, he'll hop back in a little bit here. Yeah, I was and I wanted to. I think I'm gonna write an article about this or a feature about this, but like the first game that I really felt when I got the Xbox 360, I bought it thinking it's just going to be like slightly better graphics than the PlayStation 2 and the GameCube and the original Xbox and stuff. But Call of Duty 2 was the first game. When I bought that, I thought, holy fuck, this is something different, right? The Call of Duty, like, wow, this is I had never experienced that before. This is the World War II one. And then when Modern Warfare came out, that fucking blew my mind at what an FPS could be. And I saw that and I thought, wow, this is like we've done it. Like, this is like a whole new thing right here. This is a whole different experience. And so I've been waiting for it to kind of regain some of that magic from those older games. And while WW2 from a couple years ago wasn't bad at all, it was actually pretty good. It didn't like stick. So I'm glad that it was always on that older engine. So I'm glad that they're kind of pushing that new engine. And really going all out with this one.
And some people from Respawn came back to IW, which I think kind of re-adding that blood makes a difference. And I was very similar where Xbox 360, I got it for Gears of War. I was told, you got to play this game, Gears of War. And that's one of my most favorite franchises. I did play part of that, one of their modes at E3. And I went to see one of their E3 Coliseum panels, which was fantastic.
How is the Coliseum, by the way? I hadn't done that.
The Coliseum is nice. It's nice. Like they have it's think of it kind of like I guess if you were going to see a comedian in a theater, it's very top down, like when I got there. But it was filled with people. And Gears 5, I mean, it plays amazing. I played with the Elite 2 controller. I played the escape mode, which is just really, really intense. It's fantastic. And then the panel had all the voice actors on it.
Nice. Okay.
And really, really funny panel. They were definitely, cracking jokes and everything. The funniest one was they started to take questions from the crowd. And the first question from the crowd, you know who's the voice of Marcus Phoenix, DiMaggio. He also was Bender. Okay. So the first question, I believe it's from a member of the media. I'm assuming because of the question, but the first question was, do you know Kate's sexual preference in this game?
Oh, of course.
So the immediate response from the voice of Marcus Phoenix was, "What if that is your business, motherfucker?" he goes, "What if she's a switch hitter? Who gives a fuck?" I was like,
yep.
He just shut the dude down. It was fantastic. And it just kind of speaks to, I guess, people are trying to corner people, I guess, with questions, but he was not having it at all. So yeah, I saw that. I actually saw Joel Elmsley from Infinity Ward being interviewed on the GameSpot stage. He's one of the ones that came back from Respawn, and is very. I don't know his exact position, but he has like a lot of creative lead on the new Modern Warfare. If you go back and you play Modern Warfare 2, as you're going through one of the sergeants that you're with or privates is him. It's Private Elmsley. Emsley. It's one of the two. Whatever. He's in the game. So he was that high up then, and he went over there. So it was a good show, but it was just very light. Saw Avengers, the stuff that they
does that look like a thing now?
All right. Here's the fundamental issue that they're gonna have. Spider-Man PS4 was really fucking good.
Yeah.
That was SideQuest Game of the Year, as fought for by me.
Yeah.
And it looked really, really good. This looks like, I don't want to say a throwback, but it looks lesser than Spider-Man PS4. And you also have so many characters that you have to get through. So what they showed on the demo, and I don't know if this is how you're going to play the game overall, but it's a day. You're in San Francisco. There's an attack on the Golden Gate Bridge, and Thor comes in first, and he fights people. And then Iron Man comes in, and you switch to Iron Man, and then you switch to Hulk, and then you switch to all this stuff. And it turns out that the attack wasn't actually on the bridge. The attack was on the helicarrier that the Avengers are on. I guess it was blowing up some Stark tech or whatever, but it basically sinks the city. And the Avengers are blamed for this, and away we go. The animations and the fighting style is definitely not what Spider-Man PS4 was. And I think also another kind of mild issue that you have, like Spider-Man PS4 was by itself, and it was in the middle of Infinity War and Endgame and Spider-Man Far From Home. So you weren't, Spider-Man could be whoever. After Endgame comes out, hearing somebody else as Tony Stark's voice, someone that doesn't look like Robert Downey Jr., hearing somebody else as Captain America that doesn't look like Chris Evans, and all those little pieces make for a lot of hurdles that they're going to have to get over in marketing, in polish, in speed in the game. I saw their account tweeting out kind of a blow-by-blow of the demo today at Hall H, but they haven't put video out yet. And I think I believe that
it'll be
after
end
Gamescom.
Of August, like right around Gamescom. Yeah, after Gamescom.
Yeah, and I think that they're probably going to polish it up to put that out, because if they put it out as is, they're gonna get some blowback. I personally liked it. I thought it was cool. Their booth was great. I think they had one of the largest booths on the floor. At least the Square Enix booth in total, but the Avengers, when you're coming in the South Hall, that's the first thing that you see. So their marketing was on point there. I just don't know if it's a Crystal Dynamics thing or versus an Insomniac thing or anything like that. But that was the one that I was like, I wasn't like, oh, this is bad, but I was like, oh, I'm concerned from me being from a marketing standpoint. I was concerned. So I'm sure that they have time, but I wouldn't be surprised if it gets slightly delayed.
Sure. I think that's the kind of game that by showing the point that they were at now, they can take all this feedback and make those adjustments and changes that they need to make, and push it back, because I think fans right now are. It got a very lukewarm at best reception from just online, just from watching that watching demo, because they didn't do a good job of talking about what that game actually is during their press conference. Because really, I think you're right. That first part of that demo is, I think from what I read from folks like Andrea Renee and some other folks, was that that was sort of an introduction to all the characters to get you kind of used to each of those individual characters. And then, then it flashes forward the 5 or 10, whatever, however long, however many years ahead of time. And then you select your character and you go forward, do your sort of Destiny style play after that. But
I'm hoping that they don't force you to switch characters.
Right. But I think showing it when they did was smart because they can sort of contain and adjust and adapt and fix any issues that they have, so we don't get an Anthem an Anthem situation where they kept showing that game and people were blind. Go ahead.
If you notice, that wasn't mentioned at all at E3 by EA.
No.
EA Play had everything.
I don't think they'll ever mention again.
It was Anthem.
It's the Virtual Boy.
Anthem and NBA Live were conspicuously absent from EA. So
remember when NBA Live was the king of basketball games back in the day?
And you know what? They were doing a really good job building it back up, but I think that 2K is so ingratiated in the culture that you're not going to. Yeah. And I think that might be part of the issue with the Avengers, is that these movies are so ingratiated in the culture now that anything less is not gonna fly, and it just felt kind of antiquated, and I'm sure that that's not what they want, and that's not the impression that they want to give off. And I love all the voice actors, but at some point, like, give me like new voice actors. Like, it's Nolan and it's Troy Baker.
It's
like
all people we know.
Yeah, it's just over and over. You know, I thought that the joke was great in Saints Row 4 when you could just choose Nolan North.
Yeah.
Like, right. You know what I mean? Like, but that was also a signal. Like,
or in Uncharted 3 when they brought in the other guy to play his brother because everybody confuses the two. Like that was a good twist on that joke too.
Yeah. And I mean, even you look at Destiny, like Peter Dinklage, they were like, no, it's not. That didn't fly. Fuck it, just get Nolan North. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, there's got to be more people. Like, I can actually. One of the things I was talking to Rod Ferguson from the Coalition at E3, and I told him after I saw that panel, I was like, one of my goals is now to voice a character in a Gears game. So
how awesome would that be?
I am very much. I was very much pulling from my years in the pizzeria and pulling my Albanian accent together. So I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to see it through.
You know how awesome it would be to voice a Carmine?
Oh, that would be great. I would do it in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
Is that joke even in Gears 4 and 5? Because I played the first 3, but I haven't played 4. Yeah,
well,
is it?
5 isn't out yet, but it was in 4.
Okay.
Yeah, and they sell shirts now, like the Carmine Brotherhood, and like
I have a Carmine shirt on my Xbox 360 avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I think it was before Gears 4. They did a contest where it was like #kill Carmine or
that was for Gears 3.
Yeah, and it was just like the best thing in the world because like he's gonna die. Gotta die.
And then you play the game and they almost kill him like 4 times. You're just like, oh, is this it? Is this it?
I was actually playing Gears 1 with a friend of mine who hadn't played any of them before, and Carmine gets killed within like 20 minutes, half an hour into that game. And once he gets killed, my boy's like, oh, dude, I liked him. And I was like, you're going to have so much fun going through all these games with me. But yeah, Gear 6.
All right.
I'm coming.
Yeah. There you go. It's hire Dan. So that was a good recap of.
Speaking of Gears games, I will say, starting August 1st, I'm going to be streaming on Mixer. And I'm going to start with all the Gears games leading up to the launch of Gears 5.
Oh, nice.
So,
there you go.
Yeah. I'm joining the Mixer fam.
There, you did it.
And I'm going to celebrate by giving away a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Yeah. There you go. For the $1 that you're actually, did either of you guys take the Xbox Game Pass deal for that $1?
Yep.
I think it's still going on, right?
I have it through 2022 now.
Oh, nice. Is it still going on or no, that deal?
I'm not sure. I think that once they got outside of like the week after E3, I think
okay.
Nice. But yeah, I was on the line for the Xbox press conference, and I was doing that. I mean, it's a hell of, like I already had live going out. I don't even know how far, and then they were doing giveaways at Xbox.
Oh shit!
And I think I won like 6 months or something like that. So I just padded the end of it and added to it. And you know what? There's a lot of things on Game Pass, a lot of stuff for kids too, which is really, really good. And if you use the Game Pass app on your phone, it breaks it down by section. And you could just queue them to download on your Xbox from your phone.
That's dope. That's dope.
It's actually really, really cool. There's a lot of value to it.
Nice. That's I missed out like a dumbass on Game Pass Ultimate. That there's always next year. I actually just saw it like Engadget or someone just posted about that dollar thing again. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't do that, did I? Oh, well. Part of the problem is I don't have a room set up to, as you can kind of see, I'm quite literally living in my parents' basement as we moved in. I think I mentioned the last time we recorded, but I don't have anything set up. All I have is my Switch. I only have my job this weekend is set up the PS4 and Xbox One and PC. I bought a new arm and microphone so that I can start getting some better recording equipment going. And we'll try to get things up and running here as we figure out how to stream going forward now that Google's shutting down Hangouts.
Hey, listen, man, I've been trying to get this.
So we'll figure
I've been trying to get this solved for the last like almost 2 weeks now, and I cannot get anybody to help me. All I need to do is like one test, and then I think
I'm free now, so
I have good
you
news.
Can count on me. Go ahead.
I'm dropping this link into the chat. IGN, right today, 6 hours ago, the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate deal is back.
Oh, nice. All right. It's back. You can get a month's worth of it for just $1.
And you can stack it up to 36 months. So what you do is you buy Xbox Live Gold.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you have your gold. You could stack that up to 3 years. And then you enroll in Game Pass Ultimate. And it takes your 36 months, and for that $1, it gives you Xbox Live Game Pass Ultimate.
So you buy 36 months of gold, and then you pay 36 more bucks, and you get Ultimate for those.
No, you pay $1.
Oh shit!
So I see. So that would be
and
what?
It converts all of it.
That'd be $180 plus $1, as opposed to $180 plus $180 if there was no deal on.
Yeah, if there was, you're saving pretty much about $160 or $180. Right around there. No, wait.
Nice.
Do I have that math right?
Game Pass is $10 a month, so it's $120 a year. So you're actually saving $360.
That becomes a major deal. Major deal.
Right, that savings right there is the majority of Xbox Scarlet when it launches next year.
So I'm gonna do that. I've got that link set up here. So as soon as this podcast is over, I'm gonna.
I mean, a good way to think about it, because that carries over to PC, right? Like,
yeah. Game Pass Ultimate also includes Game Pass for PC.
So a good way to think about that is, imagine if you were going to buy a console right now, take that money and buy this and get an entire library of games, a whole console's lifespan of games that you can play on your computer if you don't already own this console.
Yeah.
Or you buy a new console and you get, and probably an okay launch lineup, and then you wait, or you could have all your time filled for years.
And the entire Master Chief Collection is on Game Pass PC now. They brought it all over to Windows, and then just also you get early access to Gears 5, 4 days early, and you're also in for the Gears 5 tech test, which starts this weekend. And then just looking at the app right now, recently added, Dead Rising 4, Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain, Lego City Undercover, the Banner Saga 3, Shadow of War, Goat Simulator, Resident Evil Revelations, Blazing Chrome, Borderlands 2, Borderlands a prequel, Batman: The Arkham Trilogy, Metro Exodus, Just Cause 4. These are things that came out 6 months ago. So there's a lot of stuff on there. Dead by Daylight's on there. Ark is on there. And every game from Microsoft Studios.
Sea of Thieves is on there, right, guys?
Yeah. Now there's 15 studios. So Psychonauts 2 is going to be there day and date.
Whenever that is, right? It got delayed, though. But yeah.
And Forza Horizon is there, Minecraft, Rocket League, Mortal Kombat 10. There's so much stuff on there.
I will say this is a smart investment right now because I'm gonna cut just real briefly into some news. I don't know if you were gonna cover this or not, Aaron, but maybe it's a quick segue into this. Is that Microsoft posted their earnings for quarter 4 and for the full year, the fiscal year, and they actually lost. Xbox software and services dropped 3%, which a lot of folks wonder if that is one of the reasons they've been kind of holding off on some of the Scarlet information and going from like multiple SKUs down to one SKU for Scarlet and really focusing on the services side of things. And the rumor has been that you would get Game Pass on more than just PC and Xbox, and it could come to something even as crazy as like the PS4 or the Switch if they have the streaming stuff. So now is a great time to get into this this deal for sure.
There's something going on with the Switch from what I've heard.
Yeah.
And I know that
we'll get to that in the news portion here momentarily. There is some Switch stuff. Yeah,
and their cloud services struck up a deal with Sony. So I don't think that you'll see Game Pass on the PS4. I think you'll see it on the Switch. But they're going to be making so much money from
Game Pass. Isn't the streaming? So it's the downloading portion. It's not even the Netflix. It's like Netflix, but you have to download the files because this is they're different from their xCloud. I actually don't even know if you'll see Game Pass on the Switch only because Game Pass still requires you to have a certain level of power and fidelity in a device to be able to play the games. Whereas the streaming, the Project xCloud stuff, you don't. That's just straight video feed. So I actually don't think Game Pass would come to the Switch unless there's like a Switch Pro X10 whatever coming out in the next few years. I do believe that you could get the xCloud. Yeah, in XL, there you go. I do believe that you'll get a Project xCloud on the Switch, which I could see, that's again why I think like getting into this deal now, and then Microsoft could turn around and say, hey, if you've got Game Pass Ultimate for $1, we'll upgrade you to xCloud, and now you can play all those games on any device you have. And then people would be fucking freaking out.
You can go on the Switch Lite, the Switch Genuine Draft.
The Switch Genuine Draft.
Whichever one you really want. But no, I also think that is those deals that Microsoft is entering into with their xCloud services and hunkering down, kind of hanging out with Nintendo and striking deals with Sony. I think that that's the old guard of the industry. Looking at Google and going, bring it, motherfucker. I think that you're going to see them work in tandem a little bit more. And it's also changing of guards for those companies that, that are, were very much, their old CEOs were very traditionally Japanese, in terms of the way that they conducted business, where it was very, we do our thing. And the new CEOs seem to be very much more open to collaboration. So I think that'll make a difference. But eventually, we're going to find out. For Sony, PlayStation's the biggest driver of profit. So,
PlayStation services exactly. For Microsoft, Xbox obviously isn't yet. That's dropped. But let's get. We'll do a quick what you've been playing, and then a quick little bit of news, and then we'll kind of finish off this the podcast today. It's been a nice conversing style podcast this week. I actually kind of dig it. It's a good catch up with everyone. Hey, Erron, what have you been up to? What's happening with your feet?
Hey, I go in for more tests on Tuesday. That's
all right.
Literally since the last.
Best. And that's
so there was no show last week. And nothing has changed since the week before. But I'm going in for tests on Tuesday. Oh, well, I'm going in for an appointment on Tuesday, and they didn't tell me to do any prep, which sounds to me like a consultation. Like, hey, here's what's wrong with you. Here's some medicine to fix you. Finally. In the meantime, I have to get driven to.
Oh, hey, Sam Dixon just joined us,
which is fun. What's up, Sam?
Hello, friends. Is it medical hours still?
Service.
We literally we just started.
Here are our problems.
I figured I don't have much to contribute as into what games I've been playing this week, but I can contribute to medical talk.
Here we go.
Which is no, I was just gonna say, hey, have you guys ever handed in a stool sample before?
I have.
Have you handed in a Cats movie trailer?
Yeah. Man, you just don't realize how much you poop until you have to put it in a measuring cup, huh?
Yep.
All right, that's all I got for medical talk.
Anyway, that's pretty much all I got to. I'll know more on Tuesday.
All right. Well, Dan, what have you been playing? Let's start with what have you been playing. What have you been playing lately, Dan?
I haven't been playing anything.
All right.
Good man.
I played 45 minutes of the Modern Warfare 2 campaign last week. I legitimately have zero time. What did I play today? I was playing something with my daughter today. The Disney Rush game, where you have a little avatar, and it goes, "Do you want to use Connect?" And everyone laughs. And then you run into Pixar Park, and you can go to the Toy Story world or the Incredibles world. And I was just teaching my daughter how to
never play those games again.
Instead of driving her car into a wall and going left and right. But yeah, that was what I was legitimately like. That's like all I've played. I've been so busy and trying to design stuff, not just with work, but also trying to design stuff for the Mixer channel because I no longer have Photoshop. I have GIMP, and I don't know how to use it.
Okay.
So, yeah, I haven't gotten to play anything. I really want to play the Division 2 again, but I don't have time.
It's summer. It's like the weird time where you're either like backlogging shit or you're not playing anything. Well, Sam,
I actually have tiles on my Xbox.
Nice.
That is under a group called Backlog, and there are roughly, I think it's full at 30 tiles, but there's probably 20 more.
Okay.
If I ever sat down and said, I'm not going to do anything ever again until I finish these, I would be 40 by the time I was done.
Yeah, thanks, because I'm 40. Thanks, you jerk.
Well, sorry, Grandpa, but some of us like the game.
You guys are whippersnappers. Sam, what have you been playing besides stool samples?
Honestly, not much. Just still playing my daily routine of some Beat Saber before I go to bed.
A little bit of exercise.
That's your daily exercise.
It really is. And it's, man, that game, I'm pretty sure I brought it up, 1,000 times when we were talking about it before, but it is, you fall into that trap of being like, I'll play one more song. All right, well, that song wasn't the best. I'll play like one more before. That one was too upbeat. I'm going to bed. Let's play something slow. It's just so good to continuously play. It's still great to show people VR. Everybody that's had motion sickness and stuff like that before with VR really haven't had an issue with Beat Saber. So it's increasingly the game I show people. And then I've been messing around a little bit with Robo Recall. And then because I've had to babysit some facilities while events were going on, I've been really enjoying running my Dolphin emulator off of my cell phone and playing some Pikmin 2.
Nice. Pikmin 2 or Pikmin 3?
Pikmin 2. I think Pikmin 3 is Wii U, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, and Pikmin 1 I didn't like.
Yeah. Hopefully that Pikmin 4 will come out eventually. Yeah, I've Aaron, what have you been playing, my man?
I've been playing
Besides us busted into your team fight.
Yeah, that's it. I've been playing that Twitch game. I've been streaming every day for the last 14 days.
Wow.
I've almost clocked in 40 hours over those 14 days, and it's all just been team fight. I was playing before ranked came out, and I thought I had like a decent handle on the game. Like, oh, you know, I'm always getting like second and third place finishes and shit like that, and I'll get at least one first place finish a day, and very rarely will I finish in the bottom four. And when I do, it's because I'm doing something stupid, and then I'll get knocked out very quickly. And then you go online as of like 2 days ago, and everybody's like cracking jokes like, oh yeah, today's the last day that we're all getting top four finishes. You know what I mean? Like we're all diamond ranked today and shit like that. And I was like, all right, so this must be the experience that everybody's having. So when rank comes out, I'll see how absolutely average I actually am, and I'm doing very well.
Okay.
To give you an idea, as far as I can tell, I did my ranked placements, and I got a second place finish, a third place finish, a second place finish, a seventh place finish, because I listened to my fucking viewers, and a second place finish, and I placed in like bronze.
I listened to my viewers.
I played in bronze 3, which I always thought bronze was the worst, but that seems to be where like essentially where all the pro players placed. And then I played a little bit more, and I kept like doing very well, and now I'm silver 3, so I've gone up a full like division, and I am farther along, or I was farther along at 5 p.m. than the best player of the beta was 12 hours prior when I went to bed. So I'm essentially 12 hours behind everybody, and I'm not really losing. Wow. I'm not winning. I'm not getting first place finishes. I got 1 today so far, but I'm getting like a lot of seconds, a lot of thirds, a lot of fourths, and that means you go up. Bottom 4 go down, top 4 go up.
I've got to give Teamfight Tactics a shot. I don't.
It's okay.
Okay.
And I mean, at the same time as that, I'm playing that Twitch game because it's like if I'm going to be streaming, I might as well be trying to do all the Twitch things. Yeah. So it's like, right now it's like because they have achievements, right? And that's how you track like where you are in like Twitch. And right now it's like path to affiliate, reach 50 followers. I'm at 42.
That Twitch game, baby. Yeah.
Stream for 8 hours. I'm almost at 40.
What's your Twitch game?
Just trying to get like Twitch. Affiliate and shit like that. Just being online.
No, like what's your?
He just calls it a game.
Oh, I'm same as my name everywhere. It's Twitch / Scotty Bones.
It's Boogie 2088. Good job.
Yeah. Oh, also I've been doing that. I've been ripping on that dude on Twitter a bunch. That was holy
trending
shit.
God damn. So, don't need me to use Lord's name in vain. All right. Well, good luck to your the Twitch game for you there, Aaron.
Yeah, I'm not really expecting anything. Yeah. Like I'm not trying to be like a professional Twitch streamer. I'm just streaming because why wouldn't I if I'm going to be playing anyway? But and I'm not really expecting to like be some super amazing player at this game. I think eventually it'll balance out, and I'll probably fall where I fall in most games, which is somewhere around gold rank or whatever the equivalent is, and I won't get any higher. But in the meantime, wee.
Yeah, I'm actually going to start this summer doing some actual Twitch streaming and really giving it a shot since I am right up in front of I can get into what I've been playing now. So the layout of my area right now is I have my old desk from when I lived in my parents' house 13, 14, 15 years ago. And in front of me is a TV. So I have my HD TV in front of me. I have the Switch attached to this TV, and the TV is like right on this desk here. I have the Xbox and the PS4 sitting off the side over here, and of course my laptop in the middle. So I can get like a pretty decent like setup for streaming. Obviously people will be seeing folks walking in and out behind me, but whatever. You guys missed my dad a second ago. He busted in the room I'm like, Dad, get out of the room. I'm on the computers, Dad.
No, look, my pants are on.
He probably
told you not to
I'm not new this time. Get out of my room, Dad. Yeah, I'm actually gonna give that a shot this summer and see if I can get 2 people to follow me. But we'll figure that out. But I have been playing games in the lead up. I played a lot. God bless this device right here. God bless the Switch for being it is my favorite gaming device of all time because I can play I can play here in front of a TV in HD in the high definitions, and I could take it to a whole other country and play Super Mario Maker 2 in the middle of a village where there's no Wi-Fi reception whatsoever, but I have my fucking HD video game console in my hand and my legs kicked up, and there are goats walking around in front of me, and I'm playing video games. And yeah, so I've been living off the Switch the last couple weeks. Games I've been playing. Let's go backwards in time and start at the very beginning and go forward. I played a Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. I think I bought that for like $17 or $16, something like that, at Best Buy on a sale, and played that. And that is really for the hardest of hardcore Street Fighter fanatics. And the reason I say that is because half the game is versions of Street Fighter 2, which if you're just a cash Street Fighter player like I am, you only need Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and that's it. So there's like 6 versions of Street Fighter 2 are on there. The original Street Fighter's on there, and all the alphas and most of the 3s, I think, are on there. So, but it's fun. I was kind of playing through there. I do like the feature that you can sort of save the game in any of those games. You can just pause it, save it, and come back to it later. So if you do lose in a match, you can just reload. And I have, I think, a saved game going in all the major Street Fighters in there. So kind of work my way through there. But yeah, it's fun. It's something I wanted to get back into Street Fighter. Moving forward in time, a similar classic style game, Mega Man 11. I finally played that. I played and completed that over, I think the total play time for me was something like 5 hours for Mega Man 11, which is it's a Mega Man game, but it's amazed or surprised, I should say, at how polished it actually is, and I did enjoy it. I started off, this came out last October, I think. I started off not really liking it. The first couple bosses that I fought against, the levels just weren't clicking, and it was a little bit more, I was playing just normal difficulty. It was a little more difficult than I was anticipating. Then I realized the whole double gear system and really utilizing that, so you can kind of, I think you can slow down time, and you do a couple other things in there too. You can like increase your weapon boosts and stuff, and or your weapon attacks, and that really sort of, once I started utilizing those better, I completely changed the game. And then you can add these augments onto your onto Mega's body to make things more difficult, less difficult, things like that. So I really liked it. I was surprised. I really did like Mega Man 11 to the point where there's a sale on the Switch eShop right now for the Mega Man Legacy collections for both the OG Mega Man games and Mega Man X, which I haven't played too much of. So I might actually get on those, because Mega Man's good stuff. And then a little bit more of that Castlevania collection. That's kind of a fun thing to play on an airplane. Just give me that heads up. I picked up Toe Jam and Earl Back in the Groove. Haven't played that yet, but I'm staring at it, getting ready to jump in. Super Mario Maker 2, which is good shit. That is some good gaming right there.
I really
levels that are out.
I really like the discourse around that game over the past, like, call it a week, maybe 2 weeks, or you see all the people who are like Mario Maker players. They're like, oh, it's amazing. All the levels are like super hard because everyone knows what they're doing, and it's great. It's great for content. And then you see all the writers who are like, I can't believe how hard the levels are because everybody knows what they're doing. And then that's evolved into people playing like the Kaizo tutorial levels, and now they're starting to be all about it. It's like, it's getting you.
Yep. I'm what's really kind of interesting with the thanks for that link, by the way, Dan. What's really kind of interesting is I'm finding that there are those levels which are just brutal difficulty. Like everyone saw that the fire,
the 1-1 level.
That crazy 1-1 level. It just has the fire shit all over the place. That people freaking the fuck out about that. And I get it.
The guy who made that level has been trying to upload a Mario Maker 1 level for something like 1,200 hours. He made a level that's so difficult that he thinks he can beat it, but it's so precise that he's been trying for like 1,200 hours.
Well, that's what it is, right? Because you can't upload a level until you. Oh no, he didn't beat that yet, did he? No, he did. If it showed it, if it's available,
the creator has beaten it.
Has to beat it, yeah. Okay. Let me get my tiny little platform here. I get it. I understand why you want to make the hardest fucking level possible. But these levels, those incredibly difficult levels, are not Mario levels. And what I mean by that is they're just pattern recognition. If you need exactly precise movements and things to happen in exactly the right way, where they're almost self-play. Like you can... to the point where you can close your eyes, like that whole fucking level 1-1. Once you learn the steps of what needs to take place each time, you can close your eyes and just do the movements, and you make it to the very end. Because it's not about timing; it's just about that exact pattern to get to the end of the level. I'm more and more appreciating the folks who have fun making levels and making these more exploratory levels. Like friend of the show, Jesse Gregory, Mainfinger, hey Jesse, created a Mega Man style level where you're fighting 4 those Kamek wizard guys, and you beat one and it gives you a key. You kind of play like a little mini Mega Man level to get to him, to get to one of these little mini bosses. You get the key, and then you take that key back to the front. You warp back to the front, and you go fight another one of the bosses. And you still, choose which one you want to take on, and you go from there. And I think that's really creative, and that's the kind of stuff that I look forward to in Mega Man games. I think somebody made a Castlevania style level, which was pretty awesome. Someone made a level where you're just like constantly dropping from the ceiling, and you're just learning to avoid stuff. Those things are really cool.
So it makes me wonder, like those types of levels, if you were to stumble on them in one of like the endless modes, like whatever those modes are in Mario Maker 2, if you were to stumble on those type of levels randomly, chances are they would be in expert, not super expert, right?
Sure.
So it makes me wonder, like, and all of the Kaizo levels, like flip-wise, are gonna be in super expert because so many people won't be able to play them. So it makes me wonder if the people that are having issues with those types of levels are maybe just not on the right difficulty setting for them.
It could be. But at the same time, those Kaizo levels, you only want to play them once. It's not going. You're like, I got it. I figured it out. That's it. Done. There's nothing that makes me want to go back and play that level again. It's just once I figured it out, I've done the whole sadomasochism thing, and I'm done. And I don't want to do it again. It's. I think what makes a great Mario level. Now, I'm not saying they're bad designs. They're actually great designs if people are really gravitating towards them. And you see thousands of plays and like 0.0001% clears and stuff. But it's they're great. They're interesting like experiments, but they're not great Mario levels, I guess. Mario levels each one has this. If you play any of the Mario games, they're not meant to brutalize you. They're meant for you to enjoy your way through. So,
meant to brutalize.
Kudos to the folks. What's that?
They're meant to brutalize you and ruin your life.
They're meant to, yeah. Exactly.
All Mario games.
So, yeah, there you go. But kudos to the folks that can create those levels and actually complete them, and show us how they did it, because you do learn a lot about those. And I mean, you're using Mario tiles to make a brand new style game. So with those Kaizo style levels. So kudos to those folks. And if you're listening, you are listening, and you are watching, you're doing some great game development by making these types of levels. So go ahead and give yourselves a pat on the back and get that game degree at what's any one of those online gaming universities. So Mario Maker 2, really good. It's I plowed through that 100. I think there's like 110, 115 levels in the story mode. And then what I've really liked is the tutorial. The Yamamura, which is the pigeon in Super Mario Maker 2, is like this little tutorial level king, and he kind of teaches you how to make levels. It's fantastic. I feel like a game developer when I'm using that. But yeah, Mario Maker 2, so good. Really surprised by how much I'm enjoying it, because I like the same with Splatoon 2, which was sort of a rehash of Splatoon 1. A lot of people thought these were just going to be like the DX versions of Wii U games. Splatoon 2 sort of felt like a DX version when it launched. Even to some extent, Super Mario or Super Smash Bros. Ultimate felt like a deluxe version of the Wii U game, but they become their wholly own things. And Mario Maker 2, I thought it was going to be a deluxe version. It's its own, very much its own thing. So, and then finally, I'm looking at my Switch over here. Octopath Traveler. Got back into that. My goal is to complete this bad boy. I have. I'm staring at Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 Black Order. Thanks to Best Buy accidentally selling it early today. Sorry, oops. So I'll be diving into that probably either tonight or tomorrow. But yeah, lots of games. Thank you, Switch, for the memories. So good times.
Tiny monstrous console.
You tiny monstrous console. Speaking of tiny monstrous consoles, thank you. I knew you were setting it up. Let's get into some news.
You want to take the first one since I set you up so nicely for it?
No, you do it. You do it. You're the news guy.
All right. Fucking Nintendo. They're like, hey, we're making a new Switch. It's smaller.
It's the length of your finger.
I can't hold the damn Switch as it is. It's too small for my hands. It hurts. And they're like, oh, we got you, bud. How about a smaller one? Fucking Nintendo. I want to play Zelda.
Nintendo Switch Lite. Why they didn't call it the Light Switch is beyond me, because that would have been perfect. The Light Switch. Yeah, it's the much rumored. Everybody knew it was coming. The Lite version, the smaller version with integrated Joy-Cons, an actual fucking D-pad. That kind of excites me in more ways than I should be excited.
It's portable in that I don't think you can dock it. Yep. The controllers are built onto it.
It doesn't have HD Rumble.
It doesn't have HD Rumble. You can still pair Joy-Cons to it, I think.
Yeah. Yep. You can play tabletop mode, but there's no kickstand in the back.
Yeah, there's no
which
kickstand.
Is fine, because the kickstand that's on the Switch is a piece of shit. Mine falls off all the time. But
check out that link.
Yeah.
I
might have to buy that now. The Switch fix.
Yeah, it's actually really, really sturdy and nice.
Do you have one?
I don't think he has them publicly out. No, he
okay.
I talked to him at PAX East and played with his demo unit, and he also sent custom ones to the Kind of Funny folks. Where he can put your name on the back of them.
Oh, dope.
So it's really, really nice. So I believe he has an Indiegogo coming soon. I just don't know when.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool looking.
Yeah, you use the Pro controller and get going. It looks nice.
I might pick that up. So the Lite. It's everybody knew it was going to happen. Nintendo does their hardware revisions. Part of me was initially surprised that it happened this early. I figured maybe next year, the Switch Lite. But looking at what the company, I think Nintendo waited on announcing this thing because it's coming out in September, so it's like 2 months away. They waited on announcing this thing until they knew what Microsoft and Sony were going to do with their next-gen consoles, because we know that those are getting announced beginning of next year. And Nintendo wants to get a few more sales out of the Switch before those things get announced. And I guess building up the momentum with, or keep momentum going with making a smaller, lighter version. My daughter is all over this thing. She wants that turquoise one. She's like, Dad, I want it for my birthday. For people that are like the 3DS and the 2DS and shit were great for folks that were Pokemon players, because you want to take those things on the go with you. And as portable as the Switch is, it's not quite as portable as people think it is, because you can't really take it into the bathroom and sit on the pooper at the office and make a stool sample and play Pokemon at the same time. But a smaller Switch, I think, is good for those folks that really do kind of mainly play on the go. And it's fantastic for kids and the folks that are going to be playing Animal Crossing and Pokemon on Sword and Shield on the Switch. I think it's going to do really well. I actually think it's going to do better than it could do better than better sales than the actual Switch itself the rest of this year when that thing releases, to be honest. But it's smaller, that's for sure. Yeah, are any of you considering picking one up?
Oh yeah, totally.
Definitely not Aaron.
Not really.
Sam?
No.
Not Dan?
Dan? No, probably not. If anything, it just sells me on another larger Switch.
Sure.
As opposed to picking up one of the lights.
Now, I can see after making a Switch with an integrated controller. It's like I'll my daughter's asleep, so I can say I'll be buying this for her birthday, and I think I can guarantee you a bunch of the kids at her school are.
Dude, she's right behind you. The door's open.
Shit. This is totally geared towards kids because they will play. I mean, they'll be playing Fortnite on this thing, and if any of the the account transfer stuff actually works like Nintendo says it's going to, which surprising, I think was supposed to launch around that same time, like September or so. I think it could be a pretty cool thing if you're looking to actually get save states and stuff between devices. But
it's gonna sell like hotcakes during the holidays.
Oh, totally. It's gonna be good momentum for them with Pokemon out there. Running that into the rest of the year, especially with all the releases Nintendo has coming up next year, in kind of being like the Switch's final big year will be in the lead up to those new consoles. But it's a very interesting device because, again, I think having a device with non-removable Joy-Cons, you don't have to worry about smaller Joy-Cons. Because how do you and what I'm getting at is you can't remove. You can still live with one size Joy-Con, right? And if you had to create smaller removable Joy-Cons and you had a whole second set that people would buy the wrong ones for the larger Switch, that we have today. But if you make a Switch Pro, I can kind of see now I can kind of see a bigger Switch. Let's say it's down the line they drop the price of the Switch to $249. Or whatever, and then they release a new $299 version that also has integrated Joy-Cons, but it's a bigger screen, it's better grip, and it can still dock. I can see a new one with integrated Joy-Cons that docks, which could work for a lot of people that way, and people like Aaron who need something that's a little bit bigger, and so that could be hands right there. That could be the Switch Pro is just a larger Switch with integrated Joy-Cons that can dock, at least that way for those of us who want a bigger screen, bigger control. So I think it's gonna sell like hotcakes. And then they have that new Switch coming out in the middle of August, 1 month from now, right? Was that part of your news update too, Aaron?
I did not actually have the release date on air.
Oh yeah, it's middle of August for the new Switch, which is the increased battery life. And
by an hour, I think.
No, it's a couple hours at least. I think it went
I thought they said that if you were playing on the normal Switch, if you're playing Breath of the Wild on the normal Switch, you're looking at 3 hours, and on the new one, you're looking at around 4 and a half,
something like that. Yeah, but that top end is the top side of Switch because I play a lot of indies and shit on my Switch, so. That if you're playing like intensive games like Breath of the Wild or Wolfenstein or whatever, it's going to be on that lower end. But the top end now it goes from I think 7 hours or 6.5 hours to 9 hours, which is a pretty good size bump for that kind of thing. But the other rumor was that it's it's not going to happen, but that it could potentially have the capability to include bigger. memory size. Like it would launch with like instead of the paltry 32 gig that they have now with like a 64 gig or 128, which I'm very still bizarre that Nintendo hasn't released a 128 gig Switch, which seems like a total no-brainer because everything is like everybody's buying digital games on the Switch like crazy. So, but yeah, I could see that being sort of a final hardware, like a major hardware revision next year, is having a Switch with that kind of thing.
Here's my question. I got 2 questions.
Sure.
Number one, because it's a mostly portable unit, that has to mean that the Switches can talk to each other.
Yep.
So do they bring back Street Pass?
Oh, fuck, I'd love that.
And number 2, do they rename it Sweet Pass?
And I've dumped Erron right now.
Thank you. Good night.
Fantastic. I remember I still bring my 3DS with me, or the 2DS Lite, whatever, to places like E3 and PAX and stuff. I'm not playing games. I'm just collecting a little blinking green light because I love to bump into people and getting my Reggies and getting my rest in peace. I have Iwata living on my 2DS right now, which is awesome. Eternally have Iwata on my 2DS. That is so cool. Wouldn't have happened any other way. So that would be awesome. I don't think it's gonna happen. That's such a battery drain, though. Yeah, but that could be cool. So yeah, Switch. They're looking to really try to get as many of those dollars before the new consoles launch, and by making a light version, I think you get the kiddies in there. So smart move. What else you got news-wise?
Here's a double feature. Part 1, Ubisoft is pissed that people are EXP farming in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So they released a mode where you can build your own levels, ostensibly for creating like story levels for people to play, and so people turn those into EXP farms because that game's really grindy, and Ubisoft's not happy about it, and I think they're threatening like bans and shit for people who do them. And then part 2 is that the PC is now Ubisoft's most profitable platform, thanks to Forever Games, because people keep throwing money down on buying characters and buying boosters and all that fun stuff. So, congrats, Ubisoft, I guess. Is it Ubisoft or Ubisoft? I can never remember.
It's Ubisoft.
All right,
it's a hard U. It's a hard U.
Google Stadia will only support 4 phones at launch, and none of them are the phones that most people own.
Tom is fucked because Tom bought it.
It'll support the Pixel 3, the Pixel 3a, the Pixel 3a XL, and the Pixel 3 XL, which are apparently 4 different phones. It'll still work on like PC and everything. I believe they said. It'll work on like I think it'll work on tablets, but no iPhones. Which
that's a bummer.
Yeah, no iPhones, and outside of those 4, I guess
no Samsung,
no Samsung, no Android phones outside of those 4.
Yeah.
Like I have a Galaxy S3, which is a Samsung, I think, and that's Android, but no Stadia for me. Just looking real good for Stadia. You know, they're launching strong. And this is actually a 2-part story too. More than 4,000 developers have applied to be a part of the Stadia launch.
Wow.
Yeah. This is an actual story. A lot of these are just bullet points I've got. This is an actual story that was written by Alex Calvin over at PC Games Insider. And he said that more than 4,000 game studios have submitted applications to be in the Stadia partner scheme. So theoretically, Stadia could launch with like a lot of games, and I'm guessing that number is so big because it's a lot of single person indie developer type deals, which isn't terrible for a platform like that. If you really want to show off this streaming thing, maybe low key like indie games are a good way to do it at the start. Even though they claim it can do all games, might help to stream a game that doesn't really have a lot going on all at once. What else is there? Microsoft, they announced they'll be at Gamescom.
Yeah. They're going to have like an Inside Xbox thing there, right?
Yeah. They're going to have a whole thing. So that's news now, considering how E3 went when the big companies say they will be somewhere. I guess Sony hasn't said they'll be there yet because they said they're not doing anything for 2019. So everybody's kind of just kicking back and waiting. And then the big story of the week/2 weeks is the whole G2A thing.
Yeah, those fuckers.
Fuck G2A.
Yep.
Fuck G2A.
They so essentially G2A was back in the news because a developer whose name I can't remember at the moment basically came out online and said, listen, if you're going to buy my game via a key from G2A, just pirate it instead because I'm not getting paid either way. And that turned into a whole thing. And G2A, rightly so, came under fire and tried to defend themselves. And then it almost seemed to simmer down. And then an employee at G2A tried to bribe 10 journalists to post pro G2A articles, but not market them as like an ad. And then one of the dudes, Thomas Faust, whose Twitter handle is @SomeIndieGames, outed them immediately.
Yeah, good man.
Yep, he posted the whole email and turned into a whole thing. But
and they tried to cut. Oh, it was just somebody that we don't know how this email got out. That person
it was a rogue employee.
Even their social media guy was a complete asshat too, where he responded to somebody who was like, "If G2A shut down tomorrow, would that fix the problem?" And everybody was like, "We're willing to find out. Do you want to shut down tomorrow, please?" And got to give it up to Dave Oshry. New Blood Interactive. If you go to fuckg2a.com, goes right to New Blood's Steam store, so you can buy their games if you want to. So yeah,
Dave is great because he'll hop onto web addresses faster than
Dude, he owns half the internets.com.
He does.
And then the follow up to that story was G2A announced that they were considering developing a program within G2A whereby developers could verify themselves as developers, and then they would be able to submit lists of codes that would then blacklist on G2A's site, which sounds good in theory, but they've with them said it's only feasible for us to do this if 100 or more developers all sign up at once. And I don't know, man. I maybe don't want to give lists of video game codes to G2A.
Yeah,
right.
And not only that, the developers should not have to put in any leg time to do the fucking work that G2A should be doing.
Yeah, totally.
It's absolutely absurd that they sit there and they're like, well, you got to help us. No, fuck you. Shut down.
Fuck that shit.
You're not a legitimate business. Like, if I went out and stole someone's TV and then I went to sell it, I would get arrested.
Yep. At the absolute barest fucking minimum, when a developer says, take my shit off your store, they should be like, yeah, okay, we'll do that immediately. At the barest minimum. And they won't even do that. Fuck G2A.
They're just garbage.
Fuck G2A.com.
And that's basically everything I got.
I got one that's kind of breaking at the moment. If you want me to jump on this one super quick, actually. It's a law firm. I'm just like totally taking over the show.
It is your show.
It's our show. Law firm Chemicals, Schwartz, Kreiner, and Donaldson Smith are looking. Real. Yeah, I know. Are looking at the possibility of a Joy-Con drift lawsuit. So anybody that has a Switch,
get the fuck out of here.
Probably has. I have Joy-Con drift on 4 of my Joy-Cons. I have 6 Joy-Cons. 4 of them have Joy-Con drift.
What happens as you get older?
Yeah.
That's why you start making really hard Mario Maker levels.
That's the only way you can deal with that kind of problem.
Exactly. It's the only way to feel alive.
Anyways, they're evaluating the possibility of a class action lawsuit because Nintendo isn't really doing anything to fix the fucking Joy-Con.
Listen, anytime I hear a law firm that I've never heard of before that's doing a class action lawsuit, I know exactly what they're doing. Okay? It's like that law firm that came out and kept suing WWE because old wrestlers had brain injuries. It's like, duh. Of course they did. Okay? If you look at it, even I was reading today, and I guess this is outside of games, but there was a law firm in Manhattan that did class action suit against the city because they were profiled by the police. And, it was the stop and frisk thing that NYPD did for so long. The settlement was $3.1 million or $3.2 million. The law firm got $2.95 million out of that $3.2 million.
Damn.
And about 40 other people had to sell to separate the remaining $220,000. Fuck those law firms. Fix your Joy-Cons, buy new ones. That's how business works.
Here's how I determine whether or not a class action lawsuit is worth anything. Whether or not it's successful or not. Just to me, here's how I determine it. Number one, do I have a problem with the company? I like Nintendo, the size of the Switch accepted. I like Nintendo, so no, I don't have a problem with the company. Number two, is what you're realistically going to get from that settlement enough to cover the problem that you're suing over? And in this case, are you going to be able to buy new Joy-Cons with the money you get from suing them over the Joy-Cons? Probably not. A pair of Joy-Cons is what, $60? It's like a controller.
Something like that, yeah.
You might get a $5, maybe, once everything's said and done.
That's a law firm that's trying to make money.
Yep. Yeah, they are. Yep. Anything else, Aaron, or is that it?
I don't know. I got one here about Yoshida from Final Fantasy XIV. It's not really news. He just said in an interview that he wants crossovers with Diablo and World of Warcraft for Final Fantasy XIV.
Dope.
He's apparently way into those games and has said, like, given the opportunity to work on those franchises, he would bounce off Final Fantasy XIV, despite the fact that he loves Final Fantasy XIV. He's a huge Blizzard fanboy, apparently. Yeah.
Excellent.
That's it. That's all I got. You want to talk about Teamfight some more?
Nope.
I ran a 2-night 4 gunslinger combo earlier, and it got me a 3rd place finish.
Those are all words.
Yep,
those are all words to me.
I watched you play for an hour the other night, and the only thing I understood was, "Boy, do I need more Yordles." And I went, "I know what Yordles are," and that was
it. So I've had people pop into my channel that I don't recognize and just be like, all right, explain this game to me. And so I start talking, explaining the game. And they're like, all right, cool, I'm going to go play it now. And then like 10 minutes later, somebody new comes in and goes, hey, what's up with this game? Can you tell me about it? I've given the same speech about the base mechanics of this game probably 20 times, which is fine because I don't have to think about it. But yeah, seems like a lot of people don't know how to play that game. And maybe that's why I'm doing so well. All the good players don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Here's a real quick note. Apparently, this is from at Farmboy in Japan. He says there's an Evangelion 4.0 trailer playing in Japanese theaters starting today. The trailer ends with the announcement the film will be released in Japan in June of 2020. So anybody who's been addicted to Neon Genesis Evangelion can look forward to that. I'm done. I'm cooked. Guys. I'm gonna go play video games and fall asleep on the couch, because that's where I'm at these days. Dan, where can we find you, Dan?
Mixer.com / wait a minute. I think it's just my last name. Mixer.com / Hevia. Nice. I'm actually going to be tweeting the contest out. So if you want to win a year of the Xbox Live Game Pass Ultimate or Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, I'll have that link up tomorrow, so anybody can enter through Gleam, and all you got to do is follow me on Mixer.
There you go.
And then Twitter is at Dan Hevia.
Yes. Aaron, go ahead.
You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Scratty Bones. Mostly Twitch these days. Given how long I've been live, I got a wrestling question for you, Dan.
Yes.
I heard that Roman Reigns did a backstage interview like a week or two ago where he was just like chilling in a hoodie, and everybody was way into it. Do you think Roman Reigns just starts rocking that like casual like look now?
I tweeted about it. It was on Monday. I've never seen him more comfortable in my life. I tweeted, I said, I think that the bulletproof vest was way too tight, and it was probably uncomfortable for him. I have never seen him be more, I guess, to say real names, I've never seen him be more Joe Anoa'i or Anoa'i or whatever his last name is. He was just relaxed and chill and cool, and it was really good to see. So I hope that he keeps doing that. And I got to give them a shout out. He was really, really nice. He came to visit my wife's hospital Monday afternoon. And my wife works for a children's hospital. She used to work on the cancer unit. They visited that floor. Roman Reigns, Kofi, Bailey, Becky Lynch, and Seth Rollins were there. And they were really, really awesome with the kids. So I got to give them kudos. And he was wearing that exact hoodie.
Dope.
That he wore later that night on Long Island. So, I would love to see more of that from him. Just be that dude.
God, what if he actually gets over now because he stopped wearing a bulletproof vest? Now he just wears a hoodie.
1,000. If he wrestles in the hoodie, I'm in.
Has he ever wrestled topless? Do you think he's got like weird nipples?
No, they've ripped his like bulletproof vest off for like, you know, the aesthetic of, oh, it's serious now. They've ripped his shit. And I mean, he's a normal dude. Yeah. Like he used to just wear trunks when he was in NXT.
Right.
So all of a sudden they just had him dress up as a paintball player when he came
up. Sam, we can't find you anywhere, Sam.
No, yeah. You can find me at your local wrestling events. Usually the one in the cat mask. I was trying to come up with a good cat pun for a wrestling name. I couldn't think of anything in time. I'm sorry.
Sin Cara.
There you go.
Sam Cara. There you go.
Sam Cara. You can find us at SideQuesting, SideQuesting.com, SideQuesting TV on the streamings. I'm at Dali Dimovski on all that kind of stuff. Thank you, everybody. It's the middle of July. We hope you're enjoying the earth melting and us staying inside and cranking up that air.
People here don't have air conditioning. I don't have AC. I don't
have any AC in Europe, and that's totally fine.
It's supposed to feel. It's supposed to be 100 on Saturday and feel like 109. And my wife's like, "You want to go to the pool?" I'm like, "I'm not leaving the fucking living room."
No. Yeah, we're getting. I think 100. We're supposed to hit because of the humidity over here in Michigan area. We're supposed to hit. It's 100 and then feel like 116. So that's gonna be awesome.
I'm good.
Yep, I'll stay indoors. I'm gonna wear a hat inside the house.
That's it, everybody. I was gonna do at my store like I was gonna do like a promotion where over the month of July, because after July 1st, there's no real holidays here. I was gonna be like, any day that it's over 20 degrees Celsius, I'll give 20% off anything in the store because it's usually not that hot. It usually tops out around 18 or 19. Mm-hmm. It's 18 right now at 11:30 at night, and it's been hitting like 24, 28. Wow. So I was like, no, that would ruin me. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that this month.
You're going broke over there. All right, everybody, that's it. Stay cool. We'll see you. Bye.
Peace. Twitch.tv/ScrattyBones.
That's it.